Welcome to China Gateway 360, connecting global businesses with China through insights, opportunities, and trends. Today, we're diving straight into the China food and beverage regulatory playbook. If you're a foreign brand looking to manufacture, export, or sell food in China, nailing down compliance is your absolute first step. Let's get right to it.
So why does getting this right matter so much? Well, check out this number. By 2025, the Chinese food and beverage market is projected to hit $1.3 trillion. That's a massive, high-stakes opportunity. But here's the thing, just having a great product isn't quite enough. You really need a solid grasp of the local licensing system to operate legally and smoothly.
And success here is definitely achievable. Right now, there are over 4,500 foreign-invested food companies set up across the country, making up about an 18% share of China's total food manufacturing output. But to get a piece of that pie, you have to navigate a regulatory framework that was heavily modernized between 2022 and 2025. To find your way through this system, you've got to know the four main pillars of authority. First up, the NHSC acts as the standard setter, handling over 1,400 national food safety standards. Then you have the gatekeepers. SAMR oversees domestic production, GAC handles import registrations at 42 port authorities, and MOFCOM takes care of foreign investment approvals. Finally, the actual on-the-ground enforcement is done by over 2,800 local market supervision bureaus. Now, the good news here, it's largely digital. Over 85% of these licensing applications are now handled completely online.
Okay, so which licenses actually apply to you? Well, it entirely depends on your entry model. For instance, if you're setting up local manufacturing, you're going to need the SC production license. Opening a physical restaurant or a retail shop, you'll need a food operation license. What if you're a foreign exporter with no local entity? Then you need to follow JOC Decree 248. And if you're focusing on digital retail, there are specific e-commerce regulations to follow. Pinpointing your business model right away makes your next steps super clear.
China Gateway. Gateway.
Your gateway to business in China.
Let's take a closer look at that local manufacturing route. To produce food in China, securing the SC production license is mandatory. It's basically a 5-step process. You start with a local pre-consultation, go through strict facility inspections, translate your documents, and then pass batch testing by accredited labs. Timeline-wise, you should plan for about 30 to 60 working days and budget roughly 15,000 to 50,000 RMB for the initial application and testing. The upside, once you get it, it's valid for 5 whole years. Now, if you're manufacturing overseas and importing finished goods, you fall under JOC Decree 248. This splits things into 2 pathways. Category A is for high-risk goods like dairy, meat, and infant formula. This one requires a physical on-site inspection of your foreign facility and takes around 60 to 90 working days. Category B is for lower-risk stuff, think beverages and baked goods. This pathway is a much faster paper review done through their single window system and usually wraps up in 20 to 50 days.
For a lot of brands, digital sales are the best place to start. Cross-border e-commerce, or CBEC, acts like a strategic sandbox. If your individual consumer transactions stay under 5,000 RMB, you can actually bypass the full GAC registration, provided your product is on the CBEC positive list. With over 1,400 approved categories, CBEC is by far the fastest, lowest friction way for foreign brands to test the waters without setting up a physical local entity.
But remember, a lower barrier to entry doesn't mean zero risk. You really need to understand the chain of shared liability. Under China's food safety law, foreign brands and their local Chinese importers share joint liability for any safety incidents. Your local distributor isn't just a sales channel, they are a critical compliance partner. If standards aren't met, the penalties are steep, hitting up to 50 million RMB or 15 times the product value. So making sure you have strict compliance audits in your local distribution agreements is an absolute must.
Bringing this all together, there are 3 strategic imperatives you need to focus on. First, sequence properly. Licensing is a linear process, so give yourself a runway of 6 to 18 months for market readiness. And definitely do not sign any facility leases until your MOFCOM and GAC prerequisites are fully mapped out. Second, rigorously audit your local importer to protect against that joint liability we just talked about. And third, leverage CBEC early on. It lets you enter the market and start building brand awareness while your heavier traditional licenses process in the background.
By sequencing your licenses the right way, thoroughly auditing your partners, and taking full advantage of cross-border e-commerce, you can confidently navigate this $1.3 trillion market. The opportunity is huge. You just need to make sure your compliance strategy is as rock solid as your product. That's all for this China Gateway 360. Like and comment to receive materials from us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.